Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program Business Point on Global Television. I am Samuel Odi. Many thanks for joining on to this edition of the program. Excitingly, the Nigerian All-Share Index gained as market capitalization hits 57.7 trillion. So it's been an exciting trajectory, I would say, from the second week of October all through down to this very moment. The Nigerian All-Share Index has been on a bullish trend, and we've been witnessing significant growth from this sector, and it's exciting. Looking at the festivity around the corner, we're witnessing lots of growth going on within this sector. So what does this mean for the future coming January, and what momentum and what trend are we expected to see come 2025? People are gearing up, people are planning on investments to make. With this current trend and this bullish trend that we've been witnessing, I think it's going to be super exciting. I can't just wait to unravel the packages and what's the business and all share index level capitalization, all of that, what is going to be looking like come January 2025. So let's just get right into it, where the Nigerian All Share Index concluded its trading section with a positive performance, gaining over 302.71 points to close at 98,509.68, reflecting an increase of 0.31%, despite the upward movement in the index trading activities declined significantly, with 320 billion shares exchanged, a sharp 55.93% fall compared to the previous section. Despite the decline, we're still witnessing growth. So this is just the exciting part of the whole trend. Market capitalization climbed to 59.7 trillion, supported by 7,943 individual transactions. Market summary: current ASI shows 98,509.68 points. Previously was at 98,206.97 points. The change was at plus 0.31%. Year-to-date performance was at plus 31.74%, which is super amazing. Volume traded was around 320 million shares. Deals that were recorded was a total of 7,943. And then we're moving on to the trading volume of the previous section. The Nigerian liquidity markets recorded a sharp 55.93% decrease in trading volume, with a total of 320 million shares exchanged, significantly lower than the previous section activities. Outlook says the positive movement in the large cap stock in the coming sections might push the All-Share Index across 99,000 zone, and enough to hit the 60 trillion mark. So if today's trading section gets to break the spike, then we are set to hit 60 trillion mark. So we're hoping to see all of that 60 trillion Nigerian naira mark. So if all of this continues, though this is a festivity, and November, December has always been a bullish month. Coming from October, second week of October down to December, have always been a bullish trend, but we tend to see a bearish trend when it comes towards the end of January. But with the forecast that we've been seeing so far and outlook, that might be different come 2025, with all of the tax reforms being put in place, and then making the environment investment friendly, and then I think we are going to see a slight change of a bullish trend come January 2025. On that note, if that does happen, that means there will be a whole lot of Nigerians smiling to the bank. Talking about the bank and Nigerian Naira dips to 1,745 Naira to a dollar. Traders blamed speculators for this dip that the Nigerian Naira suffered. If you could remember, from last week, the market, Nigerian Naira, was gaining momentum and was also traded at the level of 1,525 Naira and 1,520 Naira respectively, because of the momentum it got due to the regulations that were recently introduced. The exchange rate between the Nigerian Naira and dollar slide back to around 1,745 Naira to a dollar on the parallel market, a sharp reversal from the sub 1,600 level recorded at the end of the period last week. Some P2P exchange quoted that 1,715 naira to a dollar, while some IMTOs quoted that the naira is being exchanged for 1,745 naira. Stock trading performance showed that Nigerian naira was also trading at some areas with around 1,730 naira and 1,736 naira to a dollar respectively. So meanwhile, the exchange rate between the Nigerian naira and dollar in the official market closed at around 1,525 naira on Tuesday, and which was the strongest because of the new regulatories that were introduced. Thus, these disparities between the official and the black market rate, this has now widened the gap of naira to dollar with the sum of 200 naira, creating a fear of disconnect between the central bank managed official markets and the parallel markets where most retail traders occur. Meanwhile, as of the close of the trading in the previous exchange rate in the official markets, weakened margin to around 1,545 naira from 1,525 naira and early on the day earlier rather. However, the parallel markets continued to trade for between 1,730 naira to 1,740 naira. Now, what does this mean to those selling in the market? It's just very, very simple. It shows that things and the prices of items in the market will skyrocket because of one singular fact, that Nigeria is running a dollarized economy. So the market woman selling potatoes, selling tomatoes, selling pepper in the market, when you ask her what's the cause of all of this, she will say is the market, is the current dollar exchange that is affecting. So then a lot of people will then ask question, do you need dollar to purchase tomatoes, or something that most Nigerians can just cultivate from the back of their homes, given the beautiful and amazing landscape that God have blessed Nigeria with. So looking at all of those, now it's no longer news that there's issues going on within the banking sector in terms of cash restriction. So bankers blame the Central Bank of Nigeria for cash shortage as it worsened. Now it's hitting different states and different cities with people hoarding cash and then selling cash instead of going to the bank to deposit. Let me bring you up to speed. If you could remember, around 2 weeks ago, the Central Bank of Nigeria have said they are going to slam charges on Nigerian Apex banks for not releasing the cash. But now the bankers are coming out to say it's not their fault. The central bank is not releasing enough cash based on the monetary policy and the fiscal policy that is being tightened. This was introduced by the CBN governor, Mr. Yemi Cardoso. So we are still awaiting his response, because you can't just say that you're blaming banks while the banks are saying the Central Bank of Nigeria is not releasing funds. This is what the Association of Senior Staff of Banks, Insurance and Financial Institutes have attributed the worsening cash shortage across the country to the Central Bank of Nigeria's inability to meet the cash demand of commercial banks. President Olusoji Oluwole highlighted the dire impact of this scarcity, particularly as the festive season approach, with increased demand for cash for shopping and business transactions. In terms of the cash scarcity, this is something that has not ended since the redesigning of the Naira that occurred during the regime of President Muhammadu Buhari and the former Central Bank of Nigerian Governor Emefiele, who is actually embattled as we speak. Oluwole explained that banks have only two primary sources of cash, the CBN and the retailers. He noted that Apex banks have failed to meet the cash demand of banks, while retailers profit by selling cash instead of depositing it back into the banking system. Citing statistics, Oluwole stated that banks collectively required at least 20 million naira daily to operate, with ATMs needing approximately around 8 million naira each and 4 million over the counter. He stressed the importance of the CBN providing clear statistics on cash circulation to improve this distribution efficiency and all. Nigerians and our reporter have actually gone around the street to be able to get reports on how Nigerians are getting or their reactions on the current scarcity that has hit the cities. Now, some persons have likened it to the redesigning of Naira. Some persons have complained about the fact that they work and then they tend to share the money with, POS operators because of charges. Some have also made complaints of even making purchases and then paying with card, and then you have network issues. Also, some have related it to the fact that transfers also don't work. Our reporter, Gift Jato, went to the street to find out people's reaction. Take a look at this. We'll be back after this reaction.
We are live in the city of Abuja to interview some persons as regards the current scarcity of Naira in the country and their challenges.
So visually, all the banks that you go now, they won't allow you to withdraw more than 5,000 Naira. And then which is very, very minimal for any transaction you want to carry out. So you have to revert back to using your POS or using your ATM to buy anything. That's the condition we find ourselves. The network are actually not better. Not better. It is frustrating. So we are just trying to manage our life the way we say.
Even to buy things from the market is very tough. Sometimes you can make transfer and then it should not go through. And this market women will seize your goods.
So bad. Government, please come to our aid.
This time, what would they go on now? Like now, I can't draw 10,000 Naira. Charge is 400. The thing just be that say, we are going to explain what happened last year. That cashless you will withdraw money and divide it into two. The thing just be that saying at the same thing. You can see now, I'm a hustler. You can see how I do. So if I go hustle and I get family, so come I will share the same money with PS. If you go empty and you never see anything inside, then the things are affecting us.
We are live in the
Many thanks for that report, Gift Jato, for getting those reactions. So that is it. Nigerians are complaining, different reactions from the people, and then the Central Bank of Nigeria needs to do something. The finance minister needs to step in. The banks now are saying their hands are off it. The Central Bank of Nigeria is not just providing, and Nigerians always try to seize out the opportunity that they have to, make money from other Nigerians. So I think the Central Bank of Nigeria needs to step in, because this is a sad situation. In the coming days now, a lot of people will be requiring more cash. And if the services are down and there is no cash to go around, then Nigerians' backs will be against the wall. We'll be going on a quick break, and then when we return back, we'll be having a conversation around oil production as it hits 1.7 million barrels per day. Please do stay with us. We'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining, this is Business Point, and oil production hits 1.7 million barrels per day. The federal government of Nigeria has declared that Nigerians' oil production, including continents, have increased by 9.9% to 1.69 million barrels per day in the month of November 2024, up from 1.53 million barrels per day recorded in the month of October, according to the latest data released by the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, an agency of the federal government. Liquid crude oil production 11.42%, reaching 1.48 million barrels per day in the month of November, compared to 1.39 3 million barrels per day recorded in the month of October. However, this figure remains below the production quota allocated to Nigeria by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Despite this improvement, oil production continues to fall short of the 2024 budget mark of 1.78 million barrels per day. This discrepancy persists despite claims by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited that oil production has risen to 1.8 million barrels per day. The data highlights the ongoing challenges in meeting national production targets while underscoring recent efforts to boost output in the upstream sector. So looking at this now, Dangote Refinery is here, the Port Harcourt Refinery is here, which is set to generate both the old and the new combined. Given the fact that they are old refineries, which was just, reactivated, they are set to produce over 210,000 barrels of crude per day. So with all of this now, the benchmark was actually hit for 1.8 million barrels per day as projected from January, but OPEC have yet to see that result. But the NNPCL are actually arguing that they've actually surpassed, and then they are hitting 1.8 million. But at some point in this country, there was a point where Nigerians have to queue for long hours. Some even have to sleep on the queues to be able to get petrol before, the price just kept going up and going up and going up. But on this note, now let's hope to see that with this Port Harcourt Refinery coming to light, and certainly Nigerians have, and other public affairs analysts have also said that they are sure that come next year, maybe works will begin to happen for the Kaduna Refinery and also the refinery in Warri. Maybe with that, we would be able to have surpassed the benchmark for Nigerians oil crude production. Looking at those angles now, if all of these sectors and then the regulatory bodies come together and the budget that is actually being allocated for all of these repairs and maintenance gets into the proper channel, hopefully Nigerian petroleum sector would be able to hit its benchmark that as set by OPEC. Moving away from oil, let's talk about a currency that's almost like oil. Talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Sojourn institutional inflow could cause Bitcoin's demand shocks in 2025. I'd like to bring you back up to speed. 4 years ago, it was projected that come December 2024, that Bitcoin is going to hit $100,000. Let me break the news to you. It has gotten to $100,000 and also surpassed it. And the potential send for BTC pricing soaring, according to earlier today, a report showed that the cryptocurrency focused asset manager, the institutional capital flow, are already exerting a multiple effect on Bitcoin spot price, with every 1 billion worth of net inflow into the spot exchange trade funds driving an approximately 3 to 6% price pump. Surgeon said in its crypto market outlook for 2025 report expects that this dynamic to accelerate in 2025 as large institutional investors, including sovereign wealth funds, endorsement and pension funds, add Bitcoin allocations. With improving U.S. regulatory clarity and the potential for Bitcoin to be recognized as a central bank reserve assets, 2025 could mark steep acceleration for institutional participation in crypto assets. And all of these was actually projected from 4 years ago. That was from 2020. Chief Client Officer said in a statement. So looking at all of this, now we've seen the trajectory of how Bitcoin started way back from 2008. The first Bitcoin, someone purchased pizza with the sum of 3 worth of Bitcoin at the time. So imagine an individual now having 3 Bitcoin. You do the maths, and I'm certain when you're done with the maths, you will be smiling to the bank with the current price of Bitcoin. So there's just so much going on within the business world at this point, but sadly this is how much time will permit us to bring to you on today's edition of Business Points. My name is Samuel Odi. The market currently is on a bullish trend. So if you have what it takes to run with the bull, go ahead. But if not, you should just stay put and then see if the bear would be your best friend. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.